Let's all go to the mall.
Party with your favorite monsters during Halloween Horror Nights.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back, or welcome for the first time, to the Stay and Scream podcast. We are a podcast dedicated to all things Halloween Horror Nights. Today, we have a very special episode. I'm going to first introduce who's in the room with us here, virtually. Ash, please say hello to everybody.
Hello to everybody, and to my wonderful co-host. You know what? This episode, I'm not gonna spoil it because you're gonna tell everybody what it is, but I've been looking forward to this. This is a heated discussion in the Stay and Scream podcast household, you know?
It really is. One that hits close to home, very much so. Liz, how we doing tonight?
Good evening. I am also excited for this debate we're about to have, but on the other side of Ash.
Interesting.
We're going to be fighting.
I wonder what that could mean.
Secrets.
Last, but certainly not least, Timothy, Big Timbo, how we doing tonight?
We're good. I'm kind of excited for this because I honestly don't know what my vote is going to be for this.
I have been thinking about that all week as well. I think I have an answer in my mind, but I'm not sure that I know.
Yeah, I don't either. So we're going to find out.
All right. So today's episode, I first want to give a little bit of credit. We have a listener. His name is Bryce, I believe. Someone can correct me if I'm getting this wrong. It's important that I don't. I just want to give a shout out to Bryce because he did send us a message with pretty much the blueprint for this episode as like hey, I would love to see you guys try and tackle this topic and what you think of it. So, shout out there. Today, folks, we are going to do maybe the first of a series. We'll see what you guys think. I think it has a lot of potential to do some follow-up episodes. We are going to do a shootout episode and compare directly 2 event years of Halloween Horror Nights side by side, and in as an objective way as we can, decide which year was better. So the reason we have chosen 28 and 29 is because, naturally, even without doing an episode, this is a conversation I've probably been having with these 3 people for the last 5 years. I cannot tell you how many times that me and Ash have been like, I know 29's amazing, Ghostbusters was cool, the 80s thing was awesome, but I think 28 beats it. And Liz and Tim have very commonly said, I don't know about that, I think 29's the better event. So today, in this episode that we've prepared, we are going to get into it. We're going to figure out if there's a real answer. I don't know, but I've set it up in a way where what we can do is go around and directly compare the locations of these things. I tried to find a way where it was a fair matchup, because it's obviously not fair for us to have like our number 10 house from 28 against our number 1 of 29. So the way we're going to go about this is we're going to go clockwise around the map like we typically do during spec season or any other event or any other episode about the event. And we're going to match it up by houses in the same location and scare zones that shared a location. So, Liz, are you prepared on the technical side to get these matchups going?
I am ready.
All right. So, the first one we have here is going to be in Soundstage 22. For Halloween Horror Nights 28, we had Stranger Things, the very first volume. And in 29, we had the first Ghostbusters. So as I said, we're going to try and shoot these out objectively, match them up by location. I do want to hear from everyone per location, your argument, and then we can kind of come to a group decision if we have any ties. So let's start with me, just since I'm already here. This is a nearly impossible lineup already for the first one. This is horrible. We have to compare the first Stranger Things to the original Ghostbusters adaptation. Gut reaction? I think I'm going Stranger Things, guys. I think I'm going Stranger Things.
That's fair.
Also, I do want to cover this really quick before I hear from you guys. Do you all want to tell us your initial thought before we do this of what event you like? Or are we good enough with me saying it's team me and Ash versus Liz and Tim?
Probably that, but like I said, I'm not really sure which side of the fence I'm on yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am definitely team 2019, team 29. I think that's going to stay true for me before this is over. I think I'm
Right.
still going to be team 29.
Yeah, this is a tough one, but I think this is why this is such good. They're both stellar years, in my opinion. But once we start doing the sort of like shootout type, I'm a little worried that 29 may take over 28, maybe on some match. So we'll see. I think it's such a good matchup. This is a perfect one to start with. And every time we do lives and we talk about it, everybody in the comments is so split on opinion. So it's such a good 2 years to start with.
The perfect
Two-
first match.
Two very solid years back to back, so it
Absolutely.
is a tough battle.
All right. Pardon that brief interruption. Now, I am going to stick to Stranger Things versus Ghostbusters. I'm taking Stranger Things. I'd love to hear what the room thinks about this.
Yeah, I can go next because I am Team Brady on this one. That's for sure. So Team Brady / Team HHN28. Just a perfect example of creating an intellectual property to amaze, in my opinion. It just worked. We were at a place where this, I mean, it still is obviously a cultural phenomenon where everybody was just so hyped for this maze and it lived up to it. Ghostbusters, there was a couple of technical issues with it that I thought they could have changed to make it a little bit better. I thoroughly enjoyed the maze, don't get me wrong, but I would have to agree, if you are taking screen to maze, Stranger Things just knocked it out of the park. So HHN28 wins for me on this one.
As much as it pains me to give 28 any credit, this one has to go to Stranger Things. Like, I think this is a really good head-to-head battle between two monster IPs, but that first Stranger Things house had to be one of the best IPs they've ever done, and it was such an amazing experience as a fan, where when I walked out the first time, I was actually emotional. And it's probably the only time, aside from like at the final night of Horror Nights, saying goodbye to friends and stuff, that I've ever gotten emotional at Horror Nights. But I walked out and I almost had tears in my eyes with how perfect it was. So yeah, I got to give this one to 28.
Excellent.
Oh, this is tough. I think this is really, really tough. But I think I'm in agreement with all of you. I think walking out of Stranger Things compared to walking out of Ghostbusters, like, I guess the jaw dropping and the comments of, you know, just this was a fantastic house. Not that Ghostbusters was not a fantastic house. And I think Ghostbusters resonates a little more with me just because this was like the original movie. This was a really fun house to like walk through that movie, but that first Stranger Things house was pretty much an amazing house. So I'm going to vote for Stranger Things as well.
I think an important note with this one, and like, although it seems maybe a little crazy when you have like a classic horror movie, well, not horror, it's adjacent, like Ghostbusters, and we're taking the side of a Netflix show. I think an important note here is like, this was 2018. This was 2 years after it came out. And the hype was still so relevant 2 years later. So it definitely has an advantage, I think, in that way.
Yeah, it definitely has a recency bias there.
For sure.
As much as we love Ghostbusters, and so many have the nostalgia for it, it was just such a big deal to get Stranger Things.
Absolutely.
Yeah. When I mentioned it, I think I said like it's cultural phenomenon. Ghostbusters doesn't quite have that pull, but such a good nostalgic movie we all love. Yeah, I don't know. All right, stop the count. 28 wins.
Yeah, I was going to say, while Liz pulls the next one up, Ash, do you want to explain your role tonight?
Yeah, so if you see me kind of looking down at my phone, I'm not being rude or ignoring anybody. I'm just tallying up which year wins which matchup. So we have a tally. Hopefully it's close, so you guys forget which went into which bucket, and I can surprise you all at the end with a winner.
I'm a bit nervous that I think I agree with Ash in the sense that I'm Team 28. I'm a little nervous that when these things get put against each other, me and Ash are going to look silly and 29's going to have loads
you never
of
know.
points.
When you look at it
See?
holistically, you break it down.
And I'm beginning to think that maybe I'm going to have 28 over 29.
All right.
We'll see. We'll see.
Just wait. Just wait.
Let's see. Well, while Liz pulls this next lineup out, we are moving over to Soundstage 24. In 2018, at Horror Nights 28, we had Carnival Graveyard Rest in Pieces, and in Halloween Horror Nights 29, we had Yeti Terror of the Yukon, which, somebody correct me if I'm wrong, is this our first Yeti adaptation post-Slaughter Cinema? Yes, so this is the first time we saw it get its own treatment, and then it returned another time with Campground Kills, right? Perfect.
Correct.
Okay, we will just keep our order that we were going in, make this flow a little better. I guess I have to talk about this, although this is an impossible choice yet again. I'm realizing how good 28 and 29 both were. I think, Ash, don't be upset with me here, buddy. I think I'm going to give my first point to 29. I think Yeti just has to take it. I think Carnival Graveyard was an awesome, awesome, awesome house. If I'm remembering correctly, there was a scene where you walked out and there was like a car that the lights went off like beside you. I seem to remember that. I don't know. I remember that scene being very, very cool. But Yeti is just untoppable. I think Slaughter Cinema has provided us so many good offshoots, and this was definitely one that you could tell people were so ready for. It was like, give us anything Yeti. So I'm going Horror Nights 29 for this one with Yeti.
Okay. First jump to the other side, Brady. I am going with, which in my opinion is one of the most underrated originals from time I've been going. I am going with, Sal's Amusement Salvage. I'm going with Carnival Graveyard. Love this maze. I think the only regret I have with this maze is not seeing it on the Unmasking the Horror tour, because it was just Easter egg paradise everywhere. On the flip side, I did really enjoy Yeti. I loved the setting for it. I think it had a lot of good scares. But Carnival Graveyard, I think, is such an underrated original maze, and yeah, one of my favorites from that year. So I'm taking Carnival Graveyard.
Listen, Carnival Graveyard was good. I'll give you that. But it was no Yeti. And this one, 29, takes it for me. Yeti is just one of those, just perfect houses, dare I say. It was cold, and Tim and I love a cold house. It had a little bit of humor. It had good scares. It had creative scares. That door scare was so good. And I just looked forward to going through this house every single time. It really stands out in the last 10 years worth of houses to me. This one takes it for me. So HHN29.
Dang, that leaves it up to me, huh? I am the deciding factor here.
Well, not really, because it's tallying.
So
it's overall.
Oh, that's true. But all right, so I enjoyed Carnival Graveyard, but I enjoyed Yeti way too much more. Liz nailed it. It had some great scares in this house, and I will never forget the arm in this house that came down and almost hit me in the face so many times. Probably one of the best scares in that house, honestly. So you know how we always talk about what? Story, scenery, and scares, right? That's what we talk about with all three houses. I think Yeti hits all three of those. I don't think Carnival Graveyard hits on the scary part. And that's just me. So I'm going to give this one to, I guess we're looking at 29 for Yeti.
Yeah.
That was a win-win one.
It was good.
It was.
I'm realizing now that there is a even number of people on this podcast, and that we could also have issues with ties. So
somebody will have to concede.
So
I was going to say,
I thought we were going to do like a tally total rather than each round, but I get it. You're trying to do each round instead.
Okay.
Would you like me to do both while we're
Can you do both?
Yes.
I think so.
Are you saying that we only give the tally if there's an actual full decision, not a tie?
No, so I was saying, 28 would have gotten 4 votes for round 1.
Ash, if you want me to do the tallies, I already have it set.
I see.
You
I
wanna do
was
the towers
going
and I was
per
doing
matchup.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I
Okay.
saw that in the last round. I was like, oh, because then we would have ties. The other way, we won't. It won't matter.
I
It's
see.
just total votes.
Well, we're
you know?
gonna have two, and I'm curious to see if they'll be the same, because it feels
Yeah.
like, yeah, okay.
We'll see.
All right, so
We
I'm
will
going to
see.
keep
Science.
I'm going to keep the tally of each one, and Ash is going to keep the track of, I guess, per round, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So
Alright.
right now
So
we
we'll
have
have
Stranger
both.
Things in.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we have Stranger Things in 28, Yeti in 29. They're the winners from the first two matchups. Then we have HHN28 with 5 points
And 3 for 29.
29 with 3.
Yeah.
I
Tim,
like this.
we are just
We are
on the
bringing
same
you guys
page.
the
Look at
groundwork
this.
on this podcast. We are boots on the ground doing science here.
We just lost half
We
our
are doing
listeners.
statistics here. It's crazy. As we continue around the park map, we now get to the other side of Soundstage 24, same soundstage. And I believe in 28 we had Scary Tales, and in 29 we had us. I don't even feel as if we need to have this conversation. We can give 4 tallies to Scary Tales, but I will let Ash decide if he wants to voice a different opinion.
One of my favorite original sort of franchises, if you will. I don't know if that's the right word, but love Scary Tales. Nice facade. Us gets a lot of hate. I thought they did a good job bringing it from, screen to maze. The casting was really, really good. I feel like they had some good scenes in there. But I am going with HHN28 here. I really love Scary Tales. It's one of my favorite recurring original properties. So easy one for me.
Yeah, this one's not really a fair matchup. And like Ash, I actually did enjoy us. I know the person following me is not going to have as nice things to say, but I actually did enjoy the house. But with this matchup, there's no contest. You have to go Scary Tales. It's a classic Horror Nights property. It's just the whole thing about it. You get HHN Bear was back. It's got to go to 28.
Bear.
Bear, bear, bear.
Y'all want my opinion on this?
No, just your
Maybe
vote. We could
not,
probably
actually.
leave the opinion.
I mean, you already know my opinion on this, on one of these houses anyway. Honestly, it was not good. Sorry. So this is a no-brainer. Scary Tales, like, by a landslide. I'll just leave it at that.
Easy peasy. Look at that. Oh, joy. Hey, I had myself muted, guys. This is a live show. I know all these guys just freaked out because I also had audio issues before, and they thought it was broken. I was just
We
muted.
sure did.
Also, we can edit after the fact too. So
Nah, I'm leaving
Nah, I'm
that
leaving
in.
that in.
Yeah.
Leave that in.
I also say we like I have any part in it.
Yeah, like Ash has edited a single episode of this podcast. What I was trying to say is this one would have been a doozy if it was the original Stranger Things, but this brings us to Poltergeist versus Stranger Things Volume 2. And yeah, Seasons 2 and 3 Stranger Things House was still cool. It was still awesome as any adaptation is. Like, I think the value of having the IPs at Horror Nights is just movie, show, whatever it is, wrestling. It is just so cool to be able to step into something that you already fully can visualize because you've seen it a million times on the screen. However, it fell short, especially when compared to Stranger Things Volume 1. So, with how amazing... I mean, Poltergeist is probably in my top 10 for all of my years going to the event. This is a brutal matchup, but I'm going to give it to Poltergeist. My early predictions is that this is going to be a Poltergeist sweep. Stay tuned for that.
Same page. Yeah, I think even comparing Poltergeist to Stranger Things Volume 1, I know they were the same year, I think the Poltergeist could go up very strong against that anyway. So the fact that this Stranger Things fell a little short, it was sort of victim, wasn't it, to how good the first one was. They did 2 seasons in one, well, part of 2 seasons in one, which didn't really hit. Sort of, maybe, a little bit, but neither hit. Bit of a letdown, to be honest, and Poltergeist, that facade, man, what a unique sort of entrance into that facade looking up, the house from the sort of like underground pool, whatever it may be. But yeah, Poltergeist by a mile here. HHN28.
That's what I'm talking about.
Listen, I know it's not sounding good for 29 yet, but I know what's coming. So this one has to go to Poltergeist. You guys have kind of covered it. The second house for Stranger Things, we had such high hopes after the first one, didn't live up to it, spent too much time on season 2, not nearly enough on season 3, which had all the best scenery that they could have done. And meanwhile, Poltergeist was just another one of those perfect IPs, just knocked it out of the park. So many good scares. And I'm not an IP girl, but I loved that house. 28 takes that one.
And for the clean sweep, we have Poltergeist. Brady nails it. This is a top 10 house of all time. That facade is amazing. I also love the take that Uni took with this house, because not only was it the movie and the IP, they also took it upon themselves to kind of give it a little original flair to that house on top of it.
Such a great point.
Yeah. I love this house. When this popped up on the screen, I was like, oh, this is an absolute no-brainer. So Poltergeist for the win.
Can I just say something, Brady, real quick?
Yeah, of course.
Like, if this was a boxing contest, it'd be called off by now. So, shall we just call it there?
No, because there's more to come.
Also, for the audio people that won't be able to see the video, I'm absolutely flexing my Poltergeist shirt right now. Alrighty, moving around. Anybody have anything they need to add before we get in here?
No, that one was an obvious one.
Yeah, I know. All right, this brings us back to the Men in Black tent, RIP. No more Men in Black tent. We don't get to see that anymore. We've got Horrors of Blumhouse. This is, correct me if I'm wrong, the first iteration? No. Not the first iteration. But this one featured Happy Death Day and the first Purge. That's the first Purge, not the first Purge movie in the series. Very confusing. Horrible name. And then we've got it matched up against Rob Zombie's House of a Thousand Corpses. For me, little storytelling here. House of a Thousand Corpses, horrible movie. I hate it so much. I have a burning passion for disliking it. However, I immediately knew this is going to translate so well to a house. The two Blumhouse properties in this specific Blumhouse house, not really my favorite. The first Purge, I think, was that a TV show too? Was that the weird FX TV version? I don't know.
Oh, that was the movie.
Okay, even if it was a movie, I wasn't into it. Happy Death Day was fun, but it kind of just I don't know, how many times can you do the Groundhog Day trope in a movie? So for me, although there have been some great Blumhouse adaptations, which I think is maybe a hot take, I think people don't like any of them, is what it seems like, but I like a couple. This one's got to go to House of a Thousand Corpses. What a fantastic house. So many memorable lines, hearing all the music. Just amazing.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I think I spoke too soon. I can imagine a clean sweep coming here for 29. Horrors of Blumhouse, very disappointed in this one because I thought the first one was not bad at all. Fun fact, Happy Death Day is actually set on my birthday, 18th of September. There you go, fun fact.
No excuses to forget Ash's birthday.
I know, he just wanted to throw that in so y'all knew.
Yeah, so add it to your calendars. House of a Thousand Corpses, I actually don't mind the movie, but a lot don't like the movie. What an adaptation this was. Very sort of claustrophobic, very close quarters. Like Brady said, memorable lines. The kind of catacombs with Dr. Satan, just creepy. Loved it. Such a great house. So 29 for me on that one.
All right. For some reason, Riverside is fighting me on keeping my screen up. So I'm trying.
I kind of thought you were doing that to feature the speakers. I was confused.
Not. That is 100% our software that decided it doesn't want to share my screen. So if they're watching on YouTube, that's what's happening. But yes, I am also team House of a Thousand Corpses. And Brady, I'm with you. I actually like some of the Blumhouse houses, but this one was by far the worst one. I think everyone agrees on that one. And it's up against House of a Thousand Corpses, which again, do not like the movie, but this house worked. It was I think, easily the best house we had in that tent. Scary was good. Scary was good, but this was better. And so this is an all-star for that spot. House of a Thousand Corpses takes it.
Hands down, House of a Thousand Corpses. I love the movies, so I knew this house would translate well into a house. And just like Brady said, anybody that didn't like the movie should have realized that this would translate well into a house. Characters in there, the music. I mean, you're just walking through the movie. It was absolutely fantastic. I'm with Brady. The properties in this Blumhouse selection, not good. Just not good. But whatever. House of a Thousand Corpses for the win.
Ash, a clean sweep for 29 on that one.
Yeah,
I'm
what were you saying about it being over?
Oh, man.
Wait, what is that on the screen?
Oh, it's just Liz getting our images.
Oh, well, you're going to see everything.
Here we go.
You're getting behind the scenes footage.
Well, Liz has spoiled this one here, but that's okay. She's doing the hard work here. We're going to move to one of two of the sprung tents. We've got Slaughter Cinema, and then in 29, we had Depths of Fear. I do think that this is another clear winner one. However, it's not one where I'm dogging the other house necessarily, because I think I liked Depths of Fear more than some people did. I know that one gets thrown in a lot of people's, like, some of the worst. I don't think it's some of the worst. It's not some of the best, but I thought the, like, general theme of, like, the water and, like, the, like, scuba-looking guys, like, it had some reminiscence of, like, Dead Man's Pier, but just in a different way. I liked it, but, I mean, zero chance that Slaughter Cinema is not taking this. I mean, Slaughter Cinema has gotten its own sequel. It's had countless spin-offs at this point. What have we had? We've had 2 Yeti houses. We just got Hatchet and Chains last year. I'm probably missing more. I mean, that's 3 right there and a sequel. That's 4 houses to come off of Slaughter Cinema. I think that the first original volume was a perfect house. You had Barber Chop. What's better than that? You had, what were some of the other good ones? What were the little guys that were like all over the sinks in that one room?
Man, you're gonna
Somebody
kill me.
fill me on this one.
Oh my gosh.
They're like little critters, don't they?
The little, like the little
Yes.
furball things.
Yeah, they were critter.
right?
Oh,
You're
man.
killing me.
Oh.
My
Anyways,
brain can only
those
hold
guys
so
were
much,
awesome.
Brady.
I know. We can all only contain so much Horror
So
Nights
much
info.
history.
You had the cannibal Amazon women. That was awesome. There were so many good ones in this first iteration of Slaughter Cinema. So another point on my end for 28. I'm not surprised, but we're giving it to Slaughter Cinema. Ash, I have a feeling we're going to make up some ground here for 28.
Yeah, you don't need to dog Depths of Fear because I'll do it for you. Not a good house at all. I like even the mouth brooders, right? The sort of villains in there. Yeah, so like the sort of campy style just didn't like. It just didn't work for me at all. Didn't like the maze. It had no redeeming qualities. I'm sorry. But it's going up against Slaughter Cinema. So even if Depths of Fear was good, it's going up against Slaughter Cinema. We've had sort of those compilation mashup mazes before, but this just worked so well. The B movies, the sort of like, I don't know, popcorn going to each room and everything being a different B movie just worked perfectly. Such an amazing idea, and they pulled it off spectacularly. So easily HHN28.
Okay, listen. I'm going to help Depths of Fear. I'm not going to vote for it, but I'm going to help it because Ash just beat it into the ground for no reason. So, listen. Slaughter Cinema wins this, hands down. That one's an easy one just because Slaughter Cinema is so good. But I just want to give a little praise to Depths of Fear because in a different matchup, I might have picked it because I actually really enjoyed Depths of Fear and I liked the Mouth Brooders.
Thank you, Liz.
And I liked the sci-fi chance that they took. So I have love for Depths of Fear, but it cannot compete against Slaughter Cinema.
I also agree with this. Depths of Fear was not like an awful house, but going up against Slaughter Cinema, I don't think you have a chance in hell. Such a fantastic house. Like even Brady said, it's a perfect house. I might even say that is pretty close to a perfect house. And Brady, just so you know, because I had to look it up, Midnight Snack 2
Midnight snack. Absolutely. Those weird little fuzzball
yes.
things all over that like bathroom scene.
Yeah, it was called the Critters Laboratory.
Love
Yes.
it.
Yeah. So, but yeah, Slaughter Cinema. I mean, this is one of the best houses of all time. Period. So, I mean, it would be really tough if whatever house it was going up against. So, but like I said, Depths of Fear, not a terrible house, not the greatest house, but not a terrible house. So, but real easy, Slaughter Cinema.
Ash, a clean sweep for some easy 4 points to the 28 category right there.
Liz, this isn't looking good so far right now. 28 is absolutely slamming it.
I'm pretty sure that 29 is going to get some more votes for me and probably you. I'm nervous now that we've had so many clean sweeps. I'm starting to get a little more nervous.
I'd also like to say, although this gets brought up organically in our group, I've also talked about this with so many other branches of our Horror Nights friends, and I need to say right now, and I hope I don't eat my words by saying this too soon, if 28 wins in this objective science experiment that we've created, I need y'all to recognize that. I need y'all to give 28 a little love.
Because I just have to say right away that we are doing it in a very specific fashion, which we thought would be fun. So we are. It's head-to-head matches in location, not necessarily head-to-head over the entire event. I'll just say that.
Excellent. With that being said, we come to our second sprung tent. We've got Dead Exposure Patient Zero from HHN28 up against Nightingales Blood Pit. Ash? I think it's looking good, bud. I gotta go Dead Exposure on this one. I think that's I don't want to say clear winner, but I know Nightingales is a beloved Horror Nights sort of original lore kind of thing. I didn't care for this house. I'm just gonna say it. It wasn't my favorite thing in the world. That one scene where you went in and it was like someone correct me, or if I'm totally off on this scene, there was like a guy with like a horse in like a
You're hurting me. You're hurting me.
Point. I know I'm hurting you, but cool scene. I liked some of this stuff. I just think Dead Exposure was so much better. I thought Dead Exposure was awesome.
Okay. You know what, Brady? I thought this was going to be the opposite way completely. I thought everybody was going to pick Nightingales here.
Oh, no.
Yeah. No, but I'm taking Dead Exposure. I mean,
look at that peer pressure.
Come on.
Yeah,
this stems from... Yeah, right. This stems from my favorite, not just original, my favorite Halloween Horror Nights maze of all time. I love taking it to, a new city. We're in Paris. I love the subway. I love the little monkeys everywhere. I've just got fond memories. However, Nightingales, I didn't enjoy this as much as its predecessor, if I'm being honest, but I love those little death chickens, so I think they're going to come back at some point soon. Their time is due to come back. So you are right though, Brady. Everybody loves Nightingales. I think this house will surprise you. I think a lot of people will take Nightingales over Dead Exposure. So, however, I'm taking 28 on this one, just with my affinity to that sort of, Dead Exposure franchise, if you will.
You are correct, because I will definitely be picking Nightingale's Blood Pit over Dead Exposure. If you know me, you know that Nightingales is this version of Nightingales is one of my favorite houses of all time. And it's not so much the design of it as it was the casts of it, but I had the absolute best time going through this house. There were the murder chickens in the earlier part of the night, and then the final set, they were the spicy murder chickens, and they were amazing. So this one is in top favorite memories of the event ever, running this house. Nightingales hands it down for me. Now, that's not to say that Dead Exposure isn't a great house. This is, again, a really tough matchup. I think I didn't get to see the 2008 version of Dead Exposure, so this was my first time, and I was so excited to get to see it in person. A different matchup, I would have picked it, but Nightingales they have my heart.
Liz brings up a good point. I do want to reiterate before Tim talks on this one. There's no perfect way to do this. If we had put all 20 of these houses together, and I was like, hey, I need you all to rank these 1 to 20 instead of 1 to 10 like a usual wrap-up episode, it would be very hard.
Yes.
And it would be difficult to be like, oh, well, how many beat out another 28 house or whatever. So I just tried to come up with,
I think
I'm going to
this
say
is a really
the
fun
best way to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, just shared locations. It was like, what can we do that like has in common both years? So anyways, Tim, weigh in on this.
I will say by far this is probably the toughest choice of the evening. Liz, I'm really sorry.
No.
Yes.
Yes.
But I also am going with Dead Exposure Patient Zero. And
you know what you're doing to us right now.
It's nothing against Nightingales, but I'm with them. I thought Dead Exposure was a better house, in my opinion. But Nightingales was really good too. So tough choice. I just think because I didn't get to see either one of the originals of both of these houses. The first iteration, if you will. So yeah, I'm sorry, Liz. I have to go Dead Exposure.
Disappointed
Tough one
sigh.
for Liz.
And especially coming in, like if you were in Stay and Scream and your eyes were trying to adjust the whole time.
My goodness.
Wow.
Dead Exposure during Stay and Scream. What an experience.
I completely agree. Also, Liz, you're gonna have to do some catching up here because when he gets to the zones, that's gonna be a massacre.
Well, I think this next round
I don't know
might
about
help
that.
me.
28 zones compared to 29. And listen, I don't want to influence anybody.
Careful. Also, I think this next round is gonna help me out. Just saying.
Yes. So that that brings me to let me get my buildings correct here. We are at one of the two parade buildings. We got Seeds of Extinction representing 28, and we have the first appearance of the Universal Monsters of, what did we end up having, like 5 there over the last
Correct.
10 or so years?
5.
Yeah. Fortunately, and I do want to talk about this a little bit because there's been a couple times where we're just like, oh, this is the clear winner, moving on. This is one where like Seeds of Extinction was probably in my top 3, top 5 of this year. As far as originals, I love Seeds of Extinction. I thought Seeds was awesome. Unfortunately, in this issue here, there's zero chance that honestly most things could even come close to the first version of Monsters. So I am giving this to the Universal Monsters. I mean, this one was the best, you know? Like, this was an awesome one. We had Frank, we had Dracula, we had Wolfman, we had Creature this year for a brief moment. We had the Hunchback, which was also really cool that year. I loved that scene where you were like, there was a lot of mirrors, you were walking around the like scaffolding looking part. Just awesome stuff. So yeah, point for 29, Universal Monsters.
I'm going to use Tim's expression and say this is the hardest one for me. I think Universal Monsters, when do we have it? 22? Yeah, Universal House of Horrors, wasn't it? 2012. So this was like a 7-year hiatus for the Monsters, and to come back in a fashion where it was a lot of people's first time seeing it, so that was super hyped. It was that sort of compilation maze where each monster got their own sort of segment, and they all worked pretty well. Seeds, like Brady said, it was such a good original. When you sort of peel back the originals from 28, that's why it's one of my favorite years of all time, because the originals, just think like Seeds, Patient Zero, Scary Tales, Carnival Graveyard, Slaughter Cinema, they're all just stellar from this year. This is a tough one. You know what? I'll give some love to 29 just because it's the Universal Monsters. Let's go. The sort of Renaissance era, reigniting the Universal Monsters. I'll do 29 on this one.
Good choice, Ash. So 100%, I'm on the same page. Seeds of Extinction, one of my favorite originals from the recent years. It was my number 1 house at 28. So I'm right there with you guys. Absolutely loved this house. But that first Universal Monsters house back in this new era of Universal Monsters houses, it was perfection. It was just such a love letter to all the Universal monsters. I loved going through it. And this is a very tough matchup, but for me, Monsters takes it.
Oh, man, I didn't know we were going to have back-to-back really hard choices on these houses. That's for sure. I am in agreement with what everybody has said so far. Seeds of Extinction, what a great house. But again, because it's going up against Universal Monsters and the first iteration that we all got to see, it's hard to beat that, even though Seeds of Extinction was really that good. So I have to give it to Universal Monsters in 29.
There we have it. Another sweep, this time for 29. We're not going to do any spoilers. We're not going to do any like, oh, we're halfway through. How's the tally looking? I don't want to know till the end, but
we needed those points, though.
You guys needed it. You needed it.
What do we got? We have two more houses, two more rounds of houses.
Two more houses, and then we'll get into the zones.
Okay.
We are not. We kind of decided ahead of time, just for note to the listeners. This could be broken down into such a like, well, you have to factor this, you have to factor this, you have to factor this. You got to factor the shows. You got to factor the overall theme of the year and the vibe and the music loop. And, oh, how was the tribute store that year?
The food.
The food, yes. That was something in our group chat that we were like, do we try to do the food? There's way too many booths. So for what it's worth, we're basing this purely off of houses and zones. When we get done with everything, I would love to hear from everyone about like thoughts on reminiscing about the tribute stores of that year, the shows, that kind of thing, the overall kind of theme of each year. But just a little note in there. So we are now at our second.
If you guys thought the last round was tough,
I was going to say, I have been waiting to use the Ash and Tim. I think this is my hardest one. I think this is my hardest one.
No.
So we come to our second parade warehouse building. For 28, we've got Trick or Treat represented as a house. And for 29, we've got just probably, again, maybe a top 5 as far as originals that I've gone through. We got Graveyard Games. As Tim and Ash, and I think Liz brought it up on the last matchup, have all said, this is a brutal mashup. I think this is the first time this episode I've actually had to sit here and go like, I don't know what I'm going to say right now. I think I have to go Trick or Treat. And I will say, knee-jerk reaction, the thing that I pictured in my mind for each of these houses of like, okay, think about them, picture them for a minute, that really sold me. Seeing the bus in the quarry in Trick or Treat was a moment going through for the first time where I was like, this is nuts. The scale of this is crazy. I feel like I'm at the bottom of a steep cliff and I can look up to these walls of rock beside me. So just, again, gut reaction, thinking about like visuals and reminiscing back to 28 and 29. That alone, I think, just pushed me over the edge for Trick or Treat.
That surprised me so much, Brady.
I feel like that's not what you were going to vote for coming in.
I don't know what I was going to vote for this one, truthfully.
I'm very, very shocked. I will agree with what you said about Trick or Treat. You know, it's starting to get to that scale where you think this is like unbelievable, like what they're doing with Stranger Things, what they're doing with Trick or Treat, what they're doing with Poltergeist, like making these sort of screen accurate representations where you feel you're in the movie. And it's almost like, what's the word I'm looking for? Is it like forced perspective where you feel like you say you're in like a quarry, like looking, and then Poltergeist where you're in like the pool looking up at the house. It's just incredible stuff that they're doing with these IPs. Trick or Treat, in my opinion, was much better as a zone. Graveyard Games, I think you can maybe talk yourself out of it, Brady, because you sort of like said it yourself. This is probably a top 5 original maze of all time. Such a phenomenal house. Graveyard Games wins here for me, and I don't think it's even particularly close here for me. Graveyard Games, yeah.
Yeah, I'm with Ash. I think Trick or Treat was great as a zone. I think it was a little disappointing as a house for me. So this one was an easy easy win for Graveyard Games for me. I knew it was going to be a harder debate for Tim and Brady because they love Trick or Treat so much. And I love the movie, don't get me wrong. But I think the Zone was the better of the two offerings. So for me, yeah, Graveyard Games, just hands down, one of the best houses we've had in the entire event, not just in recent years. So good on scares and scenery and atmosphere. And I got to run this house once by myself, which was amazing. I will always cherish that memory. So yeah, Graveyard Games.
Man, you're right. This is just getting harder and harder now. I mean, I know what you're all thinking. Oh, Tim, you know, Trick or Treat, one of his favorite horror movies of all time. He's got Sam tattooed on his leg. But I'm with Ash and Liz in the fact that I thought the Zone was perfection, whereas the house needed some help. But before I pick, I love both of these houses, hands down. Hands down. Brady nailed it. That bus scene in the quarry is absolutely crazy. Such a great scene. Zone was better, in my opinion. So I'm going to vote for Graveyard Games on this one.
Excellent. I'm pretty surprised seeing that one from Tim. I kind of almost maybe expected myself to lean Graveyard Games, but didn't really have my mind made up. And I saw Tim going Trick or Treat for sure. So we did a little flip-flop. In my head, the votes for that one ended up the same, just not from the same people.
See, I thought that one was going to be a clean sweep for Graveyard Games. When I saw it, I knew you guys were going to struggle, but I still thought you were going to vote Graveyard Games.
Let me say this. I'm struggling so much with this one that it's the only time that I'm like, man, can I change? I don't know. Like, I don't know. It's a hard one. But on this day, on March 10th, I'm choosing the Trick or Treat house, okay? I have to stick to it.
I'm a little shocked, honestly. I thought you were going to pick Graveyard Games too. So
on March 15th, I'm going to be like, hey, Brady, you remember that time?
Yeah, I'm going to be like, oh, Graveyard Games wins, hands down, easy.
If 28 wins by 1 point, I'm coming for you.
Yeah. All right. Our last matchup for houses. We will get to the zones in a minute. We have yet another extinct location. RIP the Shrek Theater. But maybe not RIP. I mean, it could come back. I think I was with Ash. We went in to get Stay and Scream wristbands one of the times this last year, and the curtain was a little bit not super well done compared to the last time we had gotten our wristbands, and we were like, oh, there's plenty of room back here still. Maybe one day we see 11 houses again and we use the Villain Con back rooms. I don't know. But we've got in the Shrek Theater Halloween 4 for 28. And we've got Killer Clowns from Outer Space as the house adaptation for 29. This one I think is pretty easy. I hate to do it, but I'm giving a point to 29 here. Killer Clowns from Outer Space was... This is another one, like we talked about it with Trick or Treat. They somehow were able to, I'll say almost capture lightning in a bottle 2 times and do zones and houses for Trick or Treat and Clowns that were almost equally as good. I know you guys maybe disagree with the Trick or Treat house kind of falling, but for me, both of these as good as house and zone. Halloween 4 was probably my number 10 during Halloween Horror Nights 28, so no brainer on this one. I'm giving it to Clowns.
Okay. This is another tough one for me, but for the sort of wrong reasons. It's like lesser of two evils. Which one did I dislike the least?
Oh, come on, Ash.
Yeah, both not very good mazes. I mean, the best one in that location was Krampus by a mile. However...
That's not the argument here.
No, it's not the argument. I digress. But which one? Okay, here's what I'm going to do. I didn't particularly like either, but I had more fun with Killer Clowns from Outer Space. So let's go Killer Clowns from Outer Space. I'm taking 29 on this one.
I can't believe you even had to sit there and try and rationalize something there.
I mean, they were both not great, so it's
okay, but one was far less great than the other. Let's be fair.
I made the right choice, though, so there you go.
Yes, you did. You did. I loved the first 2 Halloween houses that we got before this one. And then Halloween 4 came along, and it was just a disappointment. It was just a really rough house. I think because this is during the era when I was still living in Texas, I think I may have only done that house 2 times, because why waste my time when I only had 5 nights or 6 nights at the event on going through that house. So Killer Clowns easily takes this for me. I do think this is another case of I preferred the zone to the house, and that'll come back up again, I'm sure. But I think it was still a really fun house. It was still really well done. I enjoyed it a lot. I think with that location, it worked well. Killer Clowns takes it for 29.
Oh, yeah. All right. Ash, I'm with you. I think these were not great houses.
This is news to me. Tim and Ash don't like the Clown's house. This is unbelievable.
It's okay. All right. Hold on. Let me just say again, Killer Clowns as a zone, 100 times better than the house. I feel like they missed the boat on some things in the Killer Clowns house. Like, you saw what California got and their facade, and I'm like, oh, how did we miss that? With the big tent, and I don't know. So I didn't, man, I've been looking at this the whole time, and I have, my boy on. So I'm going to do it. I'm going to vote for Halloween 4 on this one.
This is a crazy
Tim,
pick.
no.
This is
I know it's a crazy pick.
I get it. I get it. Tim, I get it.
Do me a favor and tell me one scene from the Halloween 4 house that you remember.
Yes, please.
I can at the moment, but
Yeah.
I also can't. But I
Not
also
memorable.
can't. Neither is Killer Clowns.
Oh yes, Clownzilla.
Rooms with the Clownzilla. The rooms with the
Clownzilla is
cotton
probably
candy
the best thing in that
hanging.
house. So
And
I'm going with Halloween because of Michael Myers.
Oh my!
Nuts.
Sorry, kids.
I'm never letting you live this down.
Yeah, this one is.
If you saw the count right now, you definitely would not forgive me.
Oh, see, Tim.
Don't say that. Don't say that.
No, spoiler alert.
No spoilers. No more.
Spoilers. I'm just saying.
That was kind of a spoiler. No more out of you, Tim.
I'm
no
blaming
more.
Tim when this all goes wrong.
Also, you know
no
what?
longer
For Killer
Brady's fault.
Clowns, if they'd have done like I know the color palette lent itself well, and I know they had like black light reflective paint in there as well. Was it supposed to be 3D?
I don't think
That
so.
I don't know.
No.
I'm glad it wasn't.
I don't think so. Yeah, thank God it wasn't.
I don't think any
Curious.
house needs to be 3D.
Man, you guys are all bummed at me. I'm so sorry.
I'm not even.
That was a
I'm just like
crazy
I'm
choice.
sorry for you because the roasting you're about to get from everyone out there.
The
listening
internet
for-
is done with you. They're not going to respect your opinion any
Listen.
longer.
Sorry, me and Ash think they were not the greatest houses. What can we say?
That part is fine.
I'll stick up. Yeah.
That part is fine. It's
But
the
for me,
picking.
that part is
for me
fine.
picking Halloween 4 over
That's
it.
the
All right, I
part.
got it.
There
I'll-
was at
I'll
least
stick
a
up.
winner.
We got to have a little controversy here and there. So.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yep, there it is.
There it is.
I know a certain somebody who's probably going to be texting
sorry
and
for your-
real quick.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry for the roasting that's to come.
I know.
Oh, man. Well, that wraps up the houses. How are we feeling? Tim, don't say anything about counts. Don't say, oh, well, I can see how we're leaning. I don't want to hear any of that. How are we feeling? What did we think?
Well, I mean, honestly, I really didn't think I was going to vote as much as I did for 28 over 29, and I think I voted a little more for 28 than 29 in the house segment.
Yeah, Tim's a traitor.
In the houses. Liz is going to hate me. I'm so sorry. So I may be a little surprised that I have more for 28 than 29 right now. Still haven't done the scare zones yet, so we still have time. So we'll see what happens.
Not much.
We'll see.
I'll save my thoughts until the end when we wrap it all up. But I guess I'm not surprised because they both great years. But I am surprised. I'm not surprised of how sort of even I feel it's gone. But scare zones are to come, so we'll see.
Yeah, I think there were some clean sweeps in there that got me a little more concerned. I'm a little nervous on how much 28 took there, but there's some really tough head-to-head competitions there. So just proof that those are 2 really good years.
I think HHN29 clawed it back on the back 9 there.
Bring on the zone. Let's go.
All right. Let's do the zones. Going
I don't know why you
clockwise yet
sound
again.
scared.
I'm not. I just am curious to see where this ends up taking us all the way to the end. No, I'm not scared of this one. Trust me, I'm not scared of this one. Our first location, we got Plaza of the Stars up front. first thing you see when you walk into Horror Nights, other than maybe some like icon or chainsaws at the gates. This is the thing you walk through. We've got The Harvest from 28, and we've got Anarchade from 29. This one is a bloodbath, is as far as I would go on this. I mean, Anarchade, and if anyone disagrees, I'd love to hear from you. Anarchade, I think this is my 10th year of Horror Nights. In the 10 years I've been going, Anarchade is probably and I'm going to use this verbiage on purpose, least bad scare zone in that position ever. So I don't know how this would even be a question. I'm giving it to Anarchade.
Yeah, I think Anarchade, I think it is wildly overrated. However, The Harvest, all The Harvest was really is almost like a table of contents. Like, here's what we have, and then sort of like signs for the IPs in there. So there wasn't much about it. So I'll lean towards Anarchade because it had a theme almost, which lent itself nicely to the year. But I think Anarchade's so overrated. People love it, but I don't get why.
Oh, that's shocking to me. Yeah, Anarchade, clear winner here. I think people love it because it was such a visually stunning zone. Like, as a photographer, it was so fun to take pictures in that zone. I think the visuals from it just have stuck with me all the time. And not just to take pictures of the scare actors and the scenes that were happening, but the photo ops as fans. Just having the arcade units there and getting to take your picture. I can pretty much guarantee that every single Horror Nights fan has a picture with one of those units. It was just such a fun design zone. And this is like easy, hands down, bloodbath, like Brady said. Anarchade all the way.
If I can interject here, I think something to add to what Liz said of like the visuals, this, that. On top of that, visually in terms of cohesion with the event, I think this is possibly one of the best
Great
representations of something that just fully represented that event year.
And I think that's a perfect example of it just meshed with that 80s theme, and the music that was in there was perfect. It had the 80s synth, but then also some video game-ness to it. It was just very perfect zone for the year.
Oh, that leaves it up to me, huh? What if I told you this was not going to be a clean sweep?
I mean,
I think you would be
bringing the
upsetting
judgment.
the internet again. Yeah.
I mean, I just want everybody to hate me, right? No, I'm kidding. This is Anarchade, hands down.
I was getting worried.
This is an easy one.
Like
everything you guys said. Anarchade kind of gave me that Tron sci-fi looking section. Visually stunning. Pictures in here, all fantastic. So yeah, I'm voting for Anarchade on this one. I was just kidding. Sorry, everybody.
I was a little nervous there for a minute.
I was about to ask you to, defend the potato sack
to leave.
Actors. Let me hear this explanation of the hay bales and the potato sacks.
Well, all right. Clean sweep for 29 there. This brings us to the streets of New York. For this one, I've got to say how Ash felt about Halloween and clowns. This is having to pick between the lesser of two evils here for me personally. Are you guys surprised by this?
I don't think they haven't seen it yet, so they don't know. But
I don't know what zones were.
New York.
We haven't gotten the picture yet.
Sorry, in New York, we've got Vamp 85 representing 28. We had the New Year's Eve theme. That was cool. We've got Zombieland Double Tap representing 29. That big amusement park thing that they set up was also very cool. Yes, I do know that I have a bit of a hot take with this one. I did not care about Vamp 85. Look at Ash. Look at him. He's losing his mind. I love the Vamp zones and their recurrence and how they've done them. I really do. I don't know what about this one just for me was just like, do we have to? It doesn't make sense on paper. On paper, it has everything I would love. It's got the vamp lore. It's got a recurring thing that I love in Horror Nights. It's got 80s music and 80s fashion. There was even some vamps that looked like famous 80s icons. Like, on paper, it has everything that I love. I just don't know why. I just didn't get into this. Zombieland Double Tap was probably undeniably worse. So, I am going to go with Vamp 85 for 28. I just felt like I needed to speak my piece, that this one wasn't like a, oh yeah, like these are, one of these is awesome, one of these isn't, because I think that's how you guys are going to paint it.
I think I'm going to use a line that Ash likes to use. You know, what is it? Best of a bad bunch. Is that how you usually say it, Ash? Right?
I would never in this context, though.
Oh, no? Okay. I'm kind of with Brady on the vamps. I thought Vamp 55 obviously was probably the most stellar vampire scare zone they did, but we're not comparing that. I know that. Zombieland just did not hit, though. It's unfortunate, too, because it has everything. It would be amazing. Zombies, kills. It's in an amusement park, which is an amusement park. So, it's like, yeah, it's got to be Vamp 85.
I am genuinely shocked that this is even a debate because hands down, Vamp 85, like 1,000,000%. I know, like Ash and I are going to, like, sing its praises here. Yes, Vamp 55, obviously the best of the Vamp zones. I don't think there's a contest there. However, Vamp 85, like, that is still such a good zone. Brady listed every single reason why it was great. And you're like, eh.
Right.
So I don't even need to go into anything further, but the ball drop, like, in the little show that happened with that, I love this zone, and now I'll let Ash have the floor. Obviously, it wins.
Yeah, the fact that you guys are saying, nah, I guess we'll take Vamp because Zombieland, come on. You talk about the last one being a bloodbath, this is even more so. I mean, Zombieland was, I don't like to bash stuff like too bad, but Zombieland wasn't great at all, but Vamp 85 was so good. I love the 80s. Liz said the ball drop was good. The characters that you saw in the street, and you got to sort of like relate to them. However, Tim was right. I do prefer 55 over 85, even though I'm a big 80s fan. But yeah, hands down, winner 85. I know it won anyway, but such a great zone. I'm shocked at the discourse around this.
I guess maybe some of my wording was bad. It wasn't hard because I had to pick between two that I didn't like. Because yes, Vamp was the winner. I guess I was just trying to voice that maybe I don't ride for Vamp 85 as hard as everybody. I don't know. I like I said, on paper it's everything it should be. Like, it makes sense. I just, for some reason that year, I was just like so over the like Vamp 85 thing. I think maybe that is something that leans into my reasoning. I feel like from a guest receiving it way, like, I was just so tired of like, oh my god, Vamp 85 is the greatest thing to ever, grace the planet. But, anywho, so for this next one, we've got the only case of it in these 2 years lined up today. If we continue this, it may become another thing that we'll have to tackle with other event year shootouts. For a little explanation, in 28, we've got Killer Clowns The Zone. That was on, I think they call it South Street. It's that little thing right behind Sting Alley that kind of butts up against Transformers and like ends at the Starbucks of New York. So the reason I say this is an interesting one, there wasn't a zone there in that location in 29. And for the sake of today's episode, we chose to do it per location so that how things were lined up and pinned against each other was just kind of equal all across, instead of like, well, how can we put this really bad one against this really good one? Was this random? We did it by location, but there was not a zone there in 29. Instead, we had Rob Zombie Hellbilly Deluxe in San Francisco, which in 28, we didn't have a San Francisco. So it's a bit of a tricky one. I'm going to ask Ash and Tim we're really getting this like tally thing convoluted at this point. I'm going to ask for whatever the tallies are to put this one in a parentheses so that If I don't think it will. If it somehow came down to these votes, we could see it with and without counting these, since technically it's not a fair matchup. But for the sake of having a matchup of two zones that did happen in 28 and 29, because I don't want to leave them out, we're going to pin Killer Clowns' Zone versus Rob Zombie Hellbilly Deluxe. I think this one's kind of hard. I don't know what the room is thinking right now. I personally think this is difficult. I think Killer Clowns as a zone was some of the most all-time, just most fun I've ever had on the streets at Horror Nights. And I think I could say the same about Rob Zombie. Rob Zombie was a surprising one. I like some of his music. It's not my favorite thing in the world. I respect the kind of path he paved in that kind of world, right? You know, he did the horror thing, he mixed it with new metal. He was very like, I'm just me. I'm just Rob Zombie. Like, this is what I do. I'm a weirdo, and people love it. The Dragula car as a photo op, awesome. That weird little robot man, everyone was obsessed with him that year. I love the little robot guy. This is so tough. It's a really, really, really tough one. I think I had more fun in Clowns. I think the dance parties that were happening in Clowns, I think the clowns just being like so okay to just like come up to you and just be like, and just like totally goof off with you, holds a little bit more weight for me than Rob Zombie. So I'm going Clowns, point for 28. Put it in parentheses.
I got it. It's in parentheses. This is a tough one. I'm
glad that that's decided. I was nervous maybe you guys were going to be like, oh, I don't know.
No, this is definitely a tough one, because I had fun in both these scare zones. I mean, Brady just nailed it for Rob Zombie, you know, the robot, Dragula. I mean, it was just a fun zone. And what's cool about that the same year is also his House of the Thousand Corpses. House was also going on as well, which I thought that was really cool that they had that in a scare zone. So, wow. I thought I knew who I was going to vote for as soon as this popped up, but now I don't know. Oh, man.
Exactly.
All right, so I am going to give it to, obviously, somebody, but I want to mention one of my favorite things in the Killer Clowns scare zone is watching one of the clowns walking the balloon dog and watching it pop and watching this clown absolutely have a nuclear meltdown because it was just fantastic because this poor dog died. Balloon dog. A balloon dog. And this actor just went with it, and it was so fantastic. I'm going to give this to Killer Clowns as well. I think I had too much fun in this zone. Not that I didn't in Rob Zombie. I just think I had a little bit more in Killer Clowns. And like I said, I think the Killer Clowns scare zone was so much better than House anyway. So we'll give it to Clowns on this one.
I am also struggling with this one, maybe in a little different fashion than everyone else, because neither one of these were my favorite zone of the year by any means, but both of them I did have fun in. And I don't know. I think my few experiences, because again, this is when I lived out of state. So my few experiences in Clowns, I feel like it was very crowded, a lot of people having interactions, and that I didn't really get that experience, but I had a better time in Rob Zombie personally. So I think I'm going to be controversial on this one, and I'm going to give it to Rob Zombie.
Yeah, I think this is the toughest one by far that we're going to have for the zones. I think it's also a win-win. You know, both of them are really, really good. I mean, you've got a lot of photo ops. You know, you've got Dragula versus like Jojo Ice Cream Truck, right? And then you've got the Robot Man versus like the clowns themselves. I just had a lot more fun, I think, in Killer Clowns. I love the projections as well on the buildings. That was a nice, cool touch too. And it was just the sort of first time in a long time at that point, I feel, that they've had something almost like campy and whimsical and just tried something a little bit out of left field and it just worked. So I think I'm going to go for Killer Clowns on this one.
Yeah, it's fair. I do want to also mention for both of these, like the music for both, super fun. Like, I still hear those Rob Zombie songs, and my memory is so tied to the event that every time I hear it, I just get so excited. And of course, the Killer Clowns soundtrack, just amazing. So both of them, again, makes it harder to choose. Good music.
Yeah, so different, but so many kind of similarities in a sense, you know.
Very much so. So we've got 3 and 1 hypothetical points, and then if we're going off of the original decision of majority taking the point, we got 1. So we'll see how that ties in to the end. But
well, I don't know that it's gonna. Well, okay, I won't say that yet.
I don't know. I'm curious if it could possibly come down to, well, does this count or not?
I don't know. This next round is a sweep, I think.
I think so too. It's not looking good for Liz in this very moment. So next up, in the Central Park location, at Horror Nights 28, we had Twisted Tradition, and in Horror Nights 29, we had Vikings Undead. I don't feel like I need to say too much. I think Twisted Tradition was the best utilization of Central Park, maybe other than Trick or Treat, that we've ever had. The way that it spilled out almost all the way to like where you would enter for Marathon of Mayhem, like that little corner spot, walking towards Mel's. Just amazing. I also think this one just held so much of that just overall Halloween feeling that I think the 4 of us really, really value when it comes to being represented at Horror Nights. This one was amazing. That decrepit building that I'm talking about that they kind of let spill past Central Park is like, I can't think of many other props in a scare zone that have made me go like, wow, that's really cool that's just like out on the street and they didn't save that for a house or whatever. So giving it to Twisted Tradition.
I think this is a no-brainer. This is Twisted Tradition, hands down. And just like Brady said, what was it that it was it a schoolhouse or a church that was out?
It was a church.
A church, okay. We've never seen that before, where it's spilled out that far, and we've never seen it again, and we probably won't just because of the show that's going on. Well, I mean, that
Liz
zone
and Ash
really
got to see it, not us. If I'm not mistaken, Bayou was in that area, maybe 24,
yeah, and we also had
23.
And Walking Dead had a thing there in 2013. The year it was all
but
Walking Dead.
As far as me and Tim's history, this is the only time I think we've seen it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, and again, Brady nailed it. All 4 of us, we're all about like traditional Halloween and pumpkins, and like how can you go wrong with the pumpkins in the trees, in Central Park? It just looks amazing. Just a fantastic job here. Vikings had one of the worst sounds to ever come out of a speaker that still continues to haunt us.
No, it was gone last year. Don't jinx it.
You're right. I'm sorry. You're right.
Maybe
but it
the
did
curse is
continue.
over.
But it did continue to haunt us, after this stupid scare zone. And I'm just like, oh my God, this needs to go. Where that awful scream. Oh God. Anyway, Twisted Tradition, hands down.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that because I was going to mention the scream in mine as an immediate vote against Viking Undead. And like, if 29 loses because of that, I'm okay with it because that scream was the worst thing. Twisted Tradition, amazing zone. We all love it. One of the best of the new era for sure. Those masks, all those pumpkins, love it. Easy win.
Yeah, I won't talk too long. I mean, you guys and long-time listeners know how I feel about Twisted Tradition. One of my favorite zones of all time. Just perfection, in my opinion. It didn't even need to be Vikings. It could have gone up on any year, including Trick or Treat in Central Park, and Twisted Tradition's winning every time. Vikings, it just didn't hit, did it? We had a good little run there. We went from Trick or Treat, Twisted Tradition, then we got Vikings, a little bit underwhelming, and also, like, up in the trees, like, where did our pumpkins go? What are you doing with the pumpkins? Where they gone? So
where did our pumpkins go?
Do we want these lanterns and skulls? We didn't ask for this. What are you doing? But easy win. Twisted Tradition.
Excellent. We have the last of our matchups. We have the last zone and the last out of the houses in the zones. We've got the Hollywood area, and this is one I'm curious to see. I think I know, but I don't know if I know what you guys are...
I hope I know.
I don't know. I really don't know. So, in 28, we had Revenge of Chucky, based on Revenge of Chucky, and then we had Vanity Ball in 29. I wouldn't say that I particularly loved either of these. I did like both of them. I think this one for me, where maybe the content of both of them wasn't my thing, has to factor in interaction. At least just in my case, because I don't know how else I would really have to pick between these, because content-wise, I didn't really care for either necessarily. It wasn't super up my alley. I think out of like the horror icons, Chucky gets a little bit overhyped. That's just my thing. I'm just saying that. And the Vanity Ball thing didn't quite hit for me either. I think I'm going to lean Chucky purely based on interaction. I had a lot of good interaction with scare actors in there. And then, of course, having someone voice Chucky and roast people all night was awesome. So, I'm going Chucky.
I am legit shocked. I am shocked.
He's not wrong, though.
Oh, no.
Uh-oh.
I'm with Brady. I didn't really care for either one of these zones either. Vanity Ball worked so much better as a house with The Weeknd. Yeah, I said it, because that's
kind of true.
Kind of true what that house is. So it worked better as a house for me. So I'm with, this was going to be my big point, is what Brady just said, is like somebody that is actually voicing Chucky and roasting people for what they're wearing, what they're saying to him, you know, like that was just fantastic. You don't get that anywhere in HHN really, because, you know, any triggers are usually triggers and this is what is going to come out, blah, 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 blah. But, you know, to have somebody that can be able to say whatever, pretty much what they want, is pretty fantastic. And it was really fun. I think this was a fun little show that happened in here. I spent more time in the zone than I did Vanity Ball. I'm gonna be honest there. Sorry for any of the Vanity Ball fans, because I know there is a ton of them out there. I apologize.
Big following.
But I too am also voting for Chucky.
All right, well, I'm going to come in and campaign for Vanity Ball because I didn't like the Chucky zone at all. Like, yes,
At all?
The only good part to me was that we had someone voicing Chucky, and it was kind of fun to sit there and listen to someone roast. But again, not a local at this time, right? So I only have 6 nights. I thought the costumes, the zone was kind of rehashed, boring toys again. Like, I just didn't have a lot of time to sit there and listen to the guy voice Chucky. I had 6 nights. I had stuff to do. So I get it as a local. Maybe you had a little more time to sit in those zones. But for me, the concept, the creativity, Vanity Ball a million times over. I did not like this. Like, sometimes in the Chucky zone, I walked on the sidewalk just to get through faster. So I really didn't like it. And I really didn't like the Chucky house. So apparently I'm a Chucky hater now. Although I did like the 2009 house. So not true. But Vanity Ball, I think this was like one of the best zones in recent years. So yeah, I'm Vanity Ball all the way.
Wow, it's a tough one. Couple of things you guys have said. I'm not a big fan of the sort of villain icon of Chucky. Don't particularly like any of the movies. However, I love improv, and I love that sort of quick satirical humor where he's just roasting people out in the street. I really enjoy Vanity Ball. I love the sort of content. I love the stage. I love the costuming and makeup. Wow, this is difficult. This is difficult for me. I think I'm gonna go Vanity Ball, just because of outside of Chucky and that sort of improv. It wasn't great. The sort of oversized toys. So yeah, Vanity Ball takes this one. Is this the first tie we've had with any of them?
First,
I was about to say
First
that.
tie.
Very first tie.
So
We need to pick one. We can do the tally,
I
but
think
we need to pick
yes.
one.
I was gonna say we'll tally it 2 and 2 for Tim's count, but we do need to pick, I think, one for the other
It's gonna
count.
be tough.
Do we want to try and hash it out and rationalize, or do we want to just like do
definitely not
something
going to
like
switch.
rock paper scissors?
I'm definitely not going to switch. So I'll let you three. Like, if one of you feels like you're going to switch, you guys can like debate.
I
amongst
think
yourselves.
I'm most on the fence here.
Okay.
With
Yeah.
I do Tim or Brady. Do you want to concede Chucky to Vanity Ball? Either of you?
think I could maybe give it to Vanity Ball on something that we would all agree with, just that I can appreciate the content and originalness to the fact that it was an original and not just like, here's our guy Chucky that we got the rights to. I will, in this moment, put my vote into Vanity Ball for the sake of justice.
Okay, but I'm not changing your vote for what you actually voted
keep the
for.
tally
This
the
is
same.
No,
just
no,
for
you
that.
keep the tally.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I would have conceded as well because I think obviously Vanity Ball had the best costuming, obviously over than Chucky. You know, so if we're talking about that, I'll give it. I'll concede for that. So we'll say Vanity Ball.
Then the head-to-head, Vanity wins, but the tally stays the same.
Fully
That's
agree.
very, very mature of you guys. That was very riveting listening for the listeners.
All right. So while Tim and Ash kind of get these tallies in order and we'll know objectively, Liz, do you want to kind of bounce back and forth with me and just talk about maybe the general themes of these years, maybe what we thought of the tribute stores for 28 and 29? Maybe
I'll be
just
honest,
while they're tallying.
I'll be honest, the two tribute stores blend together for me, so I don't remember
I
which one's
agree.
which.
Because one year we had Stranger Things, and then the next year we had Stranger Things. 28's house was like, I think maybe the first time before they really started to do like designated rooms. At least that's how I'm remembering it. Because then 29, we had the full blown like Will's drawings of the mind flayer everywhere. We had the particles floating.
Okay,
but 28, if I'm remembering correctly, was just kind of like, here's the guy in the suit on a statue. Here's Sam just kind of up on a statue. It was just like integrated into the store, not like here's the property getting its room.
And was 29 the last room was the monsters room too?
Hold on, I have some notes. I think
29 the final room was the monsters room.
I don't have that written down.
Wrong?
It could have been. For what it's worth, it was the cat facade. That was that year. And we also had the Ghostbusters locker room that year, which was really cool.
Yeah, I did love that cat facade. I think 29 takes that.
I was going to say, not that we're counting it, but these are still things worth mentioning. I would probably give it to 29 as well.
Yeah, and then I think everyone agrees that overall theme and music, 29 easily takes that.
It's got to. It is one of the most cohesive sort of just like vibe and theme years that we've had.
I still listen to that playlist every single time I decorate for Halloween.
Yeah,
it's just the absolute best.
It's had that lasting effect for sure. We briefly talked on not including shows earlier. This one was another one where like if we did, it would be hard because some things were in a location but then they weren't. And also for what it's worth, 29 had 2 shows, 28 only had 1, so that would have been tricky. We had, I think in 28, Academy of Villains theme that year was Cyberpunk. The next year was Altered States, right. And then 29, we also got Marathon of Mayhem, the first one.
Again, another huge vote for 29.
Yes, absolutely.
Just
I think the shows of 29 just absolutely crushed it. I had some other notes just of like general stuff about the events. I wanted to note that 28 was also our first 10 house year. So that also helped kind of our choice of like, yes, organically, we always goof with each other about 28 versus 29, but it also lent itself well into the sense of we've got 10v10. Like, this is when the 10 stuff started, so if we pair other ones, hopefully we'll pair like, oh, there was only 9 both of these years, or once we got into the newer age of 10 versus 10, so we'll have to see. Ash, Tim, do we have some numbers here?
I'm scared.
Yeah, I have.
Which one do we want to hear first?
I have my calculations, so.
Which one do we want to hear first?
I think Ash first, because that's like the head-to-head.
To remind the listeners, just count represents only 1 tick per winner per round, so per house or per zone, meaning that we all either had a majority of votes for one, or in the case of Vanity Ball, we decided one. So, Ash, 28 or 29?
It is incredibly close.
Oh my god.
Incredibly close. I'm just going to... so, for the houses, it's 5 each.
Wow.
29 had Yeti, House of 1,000 Corpses, Universal Monsters, Graveyard Games, and Killer Clowns from Outer Space. 28 has Stranger Things, Scary Tales, Poltergeist, Slaughter Cinema, and then Patient Zero.
Wow.
Man, imagine a year with those 2 together.
Oh,
crazy.
Right? And 29 just came roaring back towards the back end there. And then However, HHN28 takes the win here, 3 scare zones to 2. We have Vamp 85.
I can't
Killer
believe it came
Clowns,
down to 1.
and Twisted Tradition versus Anarchade and Vanity Ball.
Now let me ask you, because you know I need to do this for science. What happens if we eliminate the pair of them that were not a fair matchup? I had you keep track of that. What if we get rid of Clowns and Rob Zombie?
Yeah, but I think they're close enough. And you know what though? I feel they are such. I said it earlier. They are so similar yet so different, and they all had sort of similar qualities to them. I think that's a good matchup anyway.
Yeah, I agree. I'm a 29 person. I still think.
I cannot believe it actually did end up coming down to that. And I joked about it, but all right. Timothy, I have a pretty strong feeling knowing that now with each of the 4 individual votes, it's got to be 28 by a landslide.
So yeah, it's a lot different from for the total tallies of all of us compared to the just one vote, for each round of whatever.
Sure.
So I'll give you with and without the what was it, the Rob Zombie and the Killer Clowns. Okay, so without it, 28 wins, 31 to 25.
Wow.
With it, 28 still wins, 34 to 26.
So you know what this tells me? It tells me that HHN's 28 sort of like highlights and houses are just way better than 28s in terms of. I'm trying to articulate this. The strongest houses are way better than what 29 could offer in terms of the strongest houses, because anytime a 28 house won, it felt like it was 4-0. Whereas a 29 one, it almost felt like it was like a 3-1, if that makes sense. I don't know.
That's an interesting point. I don't necessarily agree that like 28 clearly had blah 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 blah, because even though I'm team 28, these are close in greatness for me. But I do get what you're saying, where it feels like the times that we were a unanimous decision, it was 28. Tim, did you tally yours in a way where you could remind us which ones we all agreed fully across the board? Did you not tally it that way?
No, but if I look at winners, I could probably let's see. That
Stranger Things was
Scary Tales,
unanimous. Scary Tales,
Poltergeist, Slaughter Cinema, Dead Exposure was not.
Nope. Monsters
House of a Thousand Corpses was
Houses of a Thousand Corpses.
The other way was for 29.
Yeah.
Universal Monsters was also a sweep.
Monsters was
Graveyard Games. Oh, it's not. You voted.
Should have been a sweep.
And that one was not. Yeti was a sweep, wasn't it?
Yes,
no,
I think so.
No, Ash chose Carnival.
No, yeah, Ash chose.
I did.
That's right.
Carnival,
okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. And so all of 28,
sweep, but
all 28. All of the 28 ones were sweeps.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's I get what you're getting at, Ash. That's
I just couldn't articulate it. But you know what else, though? I feel like this was such a good exercise to do, to find that sort of
fun
winner, because I feel like these are so close. And it's been said a bunch of times that 29 was like 28's sequel, right? And it does feel like that.
Yeah.
And... and I feel like there's no foolproof way of doing this. Like, to do the houses and the zones makes the most sense, but like what you guys said a minute ago when you, Liz and Brady, you were talking, part-wide loop soundtrack was better.
Amazing.
The tribute store was probably better. Altered States and Marathon of Mayhem, oh my god, both shows unbelievable. 29.
And that's where this, like I was saying, if we didn't cap the sort of parameters somewhere, this would never end. If we
would never
continue, as always.
You have to factor in the food. You have to factor in the vibe. You have to factor in the general atmosphere. Like, it's one of those things that if we didn't find parameters, we could argue for days. I do want to ask anybody listening, I want to know, if you played along doing it objectively like us, what won for you? And I also want to know, if we were to return to this, are there any years matchups that you would want to see us talk about? So if you're watching YouTube, please comment. Spotify, I think lets you
There are comments.
comment
Mhm.
now. Yeah,
Sure can.
which is cool.
But just remember though, you have to pick the last 10 years because that's basically where all of us. Well, no, we can't pick a year that we didn't go. You know what I mean?
That's true. Okay, I get what you're saying.
Yeah,
I get what you're saying. Yeah, 2016 to current is what we can reasonably do, so that me and Tim also have the same experience of Ash and Liz of going to the event. So any events in there, maybe a little head-to-head matchup, let us know.
Should be some fun ones out there, but I do have one final question.
Please.
Liz, now we have the definitive answer. Do you agree that Halloween Horror Nights 28 is better than Halloween Horror Nights 29?
And Tim, too.
I cannot agree.
I will the science is there. The math, the statistics.
No, never.
I'm showing you data that tells me that 28 is better.
My data says that 28 only won by 1.
And kind of not by 1, kind of a tie.
Yeah, exactly.
Tim, I know you were more on the fence than the others. We were a little bit more firm.
I'm gonna tell you, 28's better than 29. Then
that's what I'm talking about. Ash, we did everything that we set out to do here. We're just trying to put people on to
Halloween 4.
Don't bring that up. Don't bring that up.
Every podcast from now on.
Listen, I'm the only one that voted for it, so who cares? It's fine. It didn't win.
Yeah.
So, and that one vote would not have made a difference in the total tally. So
I went toward 28.
No, it wouldn't. Oh boy,
this was fun.
Well, this was a blast. This concept ended up being as much fun, if not more, than I had anticipated it. Ash, can I please have you before we get out of here? Tell us where they can find us on the socials.
He's bringing on his phone.
Of course, I have that memorized
on his phone.
You know, just for the listeners here, I said to Brady, "Hey Brady, I actually did this last time, so please don't pick me." And
still picked you.
Me. So we are.
It really should be Tim for choosing Halloween 4.
I agree.
Because I'm a nice guy, I'll do it.
Thank you.
So it's the letter N, Scream Pod. That's going to be on Twitter and Instagram. Okay. We are also the same handle on YouTube. However, if you do want to email us, you know, if you're thinking you want to send us a nice email and agree with Tim's pick of Halloween 4, of perfect, another idea.
Thanks, buddy.
We are actually stay and scream pod
cast
a little bit more full and professional on the email.
Yeah.
I'll give myself a 6 out of 10. However, go to Twitter. We have a link tree. Do your thing. Follow us on everything.
Did you tell them where to find us? Twitter? I think you only said Instagram, YouTube.
No, I said Twitter.
He got it.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
We'll give him credit.
But yeah, follow us, subscribe, do all the things. Thank you.
I cannot wait. I hope that this is an episode that brings tons of interaction with you guys. I really am looking forward to getting into this with people on Twitter and Instagram DMs. I truly can't wait. Like I said before, though, please, if you played along with us and you did it our way, where it was head-to-head instead of just like, oh, I like this one better, let us know what your winner was. I want to know. So, with that being said, we're going to get out of here, and hopefully we'll see you soon with a new episode. So, see ya.
See ya.
See ya.